Hello and welcome back to episode 6 of the House of the Stag podcast. Today we're joined by the legend, Sir Strongbeard, aka Andy McClay. Mate, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm loving life. I'm loving that Stark life, as usual.
Well, you got the
So,
banner right behind you.
yeah, man, big time fucking House Stark, Winterfell, represent all the time. Big time, yeah. So, no, I'm doing good, man. Pandemic, obviously, but still, I'm up to some cool shit. So, I'm doing well. You all good?
Hell yeah.
Pretty good.
Happy days.
Gotta. So let's get right into it. The
You
first
work away.
question for you.
Yeah.
Andy, how did you get into Game of Thrones and what was the casting process like?
Right. So, okay. Right. I love doing these interviews because I get to relive the experience. Right. So, I'll start at the very beginning. Right. So, I started reading Song of Ice and Fire when I was 13. Read obviously Lord of the Rings before that. Still a big Lord of the Rings fan, but started reading Song of Ice and Fire. So just read the books and so they're only books I could read. So then by the time the TV show came on, I was watching The Sopranos late at night because I had no idea that they were making a Song of Ice and Fire in the TV show. So I read the books over and over and over again. Then I was watching The Sopranos one night and then finished. And then up came, the little infomercial for Game of Thrones. So I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is that there? What the fuck is that? So I had to go and research, and I was all, no way, they made a fucking Song of Ice and Fire in the TV show. So I just went, fuck. I started watching it, and the first season was so good, so like the book, that I was just, oh, this is fucking amazing. So then I remember sitting one night, and I just kept watching season one over and over again. And then I was sitting one night, and then the credits went up, and I was living in a different part of Ireland. And it came up at the very end of the credits, filmed in Belfast, Northern Ireland. So I was like, no fucking way. That's only up. That's only a couple of cities away. So I told my flatmate that I was leaving for Belfast. That was it. I was going to move to Belfast and I was going to get my ass on Game of Thrones. I was going to tear shit up. So that's what I did. I remember, so just coming up to Belfast, so I went back to drama college, and at the same time, I put all my information online with a company called the Extras Department. And then I made myself so all I had to do was look at the people in the background on Game of Thrones, big beards, mad looking, you know. Yeah. So I just made myself look like this. Took a photograph of myself and put it online. And then what do you call it? They called me for season 4, and they called me and just I remember that as well. They were all, so Andrew, we were wondering if you'd want to come and help make Game of Thrones. If you'd want to come on and be an extra on the show, we have a position for you in Stannis Baratheon's army. And I just remember I was in the streets of Belfast, fucking going, with a phone, Stannis was like one of my favorite characters, and I'm like, fuck yes, let's do this. So we came in, and we did a week. The season 4, I only did 5 days, and it was for the scene. Do you remember? And that's one of my favorite scenes because Jon Snow just goes, "Fuck that tidy Samuel Tarly. I'm gonna have to go and talk to Mance Raider." You know what I mean? She's just, shit. It's one of my favorite Jon moments. But he comes through the wall and obviously meets up with Mance Raider, and then Stannis Baratheon comes fucking ripping through the forest, beating the fuck out of wildlings. So we were Stannis Baratheons. That was my name in the show, and it was just brilliant. Just watching Stephen Delane and Kieran Hines, who played Mance Raider, watching them two guys working, because I like the whole thing was I always studied theatre and stuff like that, and I never really had any sort of want to be on TV or anything like that, because I didn't think that it gave you the same buzz as live theatre would. But fuck, I was wrong. Hey, whenever I got on to Game of Thrones, I was wrong. So wrong, because you had Stephen Delane and Cian Hines, and they were like walking up to each other, and they would say their lines. This was them rehearsing, and then they'd walk away, and they did this about 20 times, coming back and forward, and they just looked at each other on the last one and went, "You ready to shoot?" He goes, "I'm ready to shoot." And the whole thing just fucking, it was brilliant. And Kit was there, and he was fucking kick ass, and I was going, "Oh man, it's Jon Snow." It's just my very first day, man. That's why even into the later seasons, whenever I was meeting somebody who was a major fan of the show and it was their first day, I was just buzzing off them, because I remember my first day and I was fucking kick ass. So then asked back for season 5, and then just Stannis Baratheon again and stuff like that. So that's how I got involved. Basically putting me picture online, understanding what I needed to do there. You know what I mean? I think it's any actor who approaches a role. I know I was extra work, but any actor who approaches a role knows the story, the characters, everything inside out through research. I had already had that done. These books were the only books that I was reading, because of the way Martin writes, you know yourselves from reading A Song of Ice and Fire, it's almost you find something new every time you read them, going, holy fuck, I didn't realize. Do you know what I mean? So I arrived, and like I was just on fire all the time. Like, you'd be on the big long shoots, let's say you're shooting for months, and you're basically for a couple of months getting about 5 hours sleep a night. So you're knackered all the time, you're really tired, but you'd just be buzzing for the fact that I was on Game of Thrones, just like, fucking yes. Like, it was amazing.
Yeah, man, you're more than welcome here. House of the Stag, you know, we're both big Stannis fans as well, so I can only imagine what it felt like to be a soldier in the one true king's army, my man.
Oh yeah, man. Big time. I mean, like, for me, the whole Stannis storyline, because I've studied theatre so much, it's the archetypal Greek tragedy that George R. R. Martin, for me, has written into A Song of Ice and Fire. You know, there's many different elements in books, because of course he robs from absolutely everywhere. So like with his, you know, the king who's driven to, you know, destruction, with some oracle whispering in his ear, aka Melisandre and stuff like that, and it leads his whole family to ruin. Do you know what I mean? It's just destroys his whole family, root and stem, through tragedy. And it's just, that's brilliant. I followed that man into the gates of hell. Like, that was brilliant, you know. So really good. Stephen Delane as well is such a legend to work with, for the simple fact that he's we all thought that he was really unapproachable at the start, because he was just walking around.
He was just Stannis.
Fucking Stannis face. We're like, oh shit, no. Even when he was talking to Liam Cunningham, and Liam Cunningham's just smoking, and like, if you're next to Liam Cunningham, right, he's gonna start slagging you off, you know, making fun of you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like laughing and stuff, and he'd be up doing that with Stephen, and he's just so straight faced and all beside him. It was just really funny. But the only way we knew then that he was approachable was like one of the lads just went, "Hello, Stephen," and he just turned around and was all, "Hello," and then he started talking to us. Just because one of the boys went, "Fuck that, I'm gonna say hello to him," you know. So
that's what Kerry Ingram said as well, that he pretty much stays in character the whole time. So he was perfect for the role. He was Stannis.
Yeah, man, he kicks ass, and yeah, I know that he was all like, I don't know why anyone would watch Game of Thrones and stuff like that, and all this type of stuff that's full of sex and stuff like that. But to me, that's even better. That's the perfect Stannis answer. Stephen Delaney gives the perfect Stannis answer.
Definitely.
You know, it's all Judy.
Yeah, he had to do that sex scene in season 3. Must be really uncomfortable for him.
Daenerys and them touching that table. See that? Daenerys go down touching that table.
Yeah.
Hey, well, she's at it with her nephew, so that's the least of her worries.
Yeah. I always thought like you in the Stannis army and you in the Stark army are the same person. You're just like, okay, I survived, and I'm just gonna roll with the other boys.
Oh man, so the internet way back was this after? I think this was after my Battle of the Bastards close-up. I can't remember the Reddit post, but I read it, and a guy had formulated a story for me, and it's the one I'm using. And right, so check it out, right? Okay, so I'm a fisherman. I'm a fisherman's son out of White Harbour, right? And I'm down fishing in the narrow sea, right? Next thing, we're down at me and my father are fishing around Dragonstone, right? Where Stannis Baratheon is. Now, we're loyal Northmen, right? And this is all around the time when fucking Eddard Stark proclaims for Stannis Baratheon. So we're dropping our fish off at Dragonstone, and we hear the word that Eddard Stark has proclaimed. He's for Stannis Baratheon as the legitimate heir to the Iron Throne. So me and my father are like, holy shit! Lord Eddard says that Stannis Baratheon's the one true king. And then I said to my dad, get home. I'm going to stay here and fight for the one true king then, because Lord Eddard says he's the one true king. So be a bottom.
Oh, so you're a Northman the whole time.
I was a Northman the whole time, man. so then obviously, swear me sword to Stannis Baratheon. Shit hits the fan then up north and all. I was one of the lads. You just don't see this because it was off camera. I was like, should we really be burning this child? And everybody was all, shut up, Andy. We're burning her. We have to get out of this. And I'm like, okay then. You know. And then, whenever we attack Winterfell with Stannis, I get knocked out by a horse, and I wake up after, and all my friends are dead. I find a few of the lads. We head into the Wolf's Wood, where we live in between season 4 and 5 of the show, or 5 and 6 of the show. Season 6 comes along. We hear that Jon Snow's called the Banners. We hook up with Jon Snow and then fight at the Battle of the Bastards, and then that's how I make it back.
Goes full circle.
Yeah.
So, I think that reminds me of
every extra makes up their own storyline, man. My best is Bobby Marno, and he is he goes around calling himself the 1000th Lord Commander of the Night. Fucking self-appointed. I said to him all the time, you just say that, man. Every member of the Night's Watch came out of Game of Thrones saying, I am the new Lord Commander.
Well, I guess it makes sense. I would do the same thing, that's for sure.
Yeah, man.
That storyline reminds me of, like, in the books, a bunch of Roderick Cassell's men who survived Ramsay's first attack on Winterfell. They ended up joining Stannis. I thought that's very close to what you're telling. Yeah.
Well, that one was written for me on the internet, so I was just all here. I'll use this. This makes perfect sense. I was like, this is brilliant. So that one works as well, man.
Which question are we on right now?
The second one. The second one.
Okay, what is it like being on set? You guys behind the camera really come across like a brotherhood, like family. Tell us more about it.
Okay, aye, man. So whenever you're shooting a show, you were in some fucked up places. Like in the battle, the long night was absolutely freezing cold. So whenever you're doing big battle sequences like that, you're all huddled together and you're there for ages. You're really getting to know the people around you. It's like being in a war situation, but it's fake. There's no risk that you're actually going to die. But like you're sitting around for hours, you really get to know everyone around you, you know, and like you just form great friendships and stuff. It's the amount of downtime that you have. But then again, whenever you're shooting battle sequences, they were so much fun. They do. You're just running through with all your mates who you've made on set, just cutting the fuck out of Boltons or smashing Lannisters, man. We were running through King's Landing, smashing the fuck out of Lannisters. And those guys, fair play to those guys, because in season 7 of the show, they got all their Lannisters from Spain. So if you look at the loot train attack, all the Lannisters are a little bit darker because they're Spanish guys. You know what I mean? Because that's where that was filmed. So in season 8, they had to come back to Northern Ireland because it was shot in Northern Ireland. They had to get all the Lannisters from Northern Ireland, and these guys were pretty new, but they were brilliant. They knew that they were getting slaughtered, and I was running up to guys, and like Tommy Dunn, the head of the armory department, had just given me a big massive warhammer. I loved that thing. It was a big thing, but man, it was just, and like I was coming up, I was finding all of these extras who I wanted to come up and kill, talking to them, man, I'm going to come up and smash you around the head. Right? He's all, yeah, man, I do that. And then, so action, I was just running up and smashing these boys, and they were doing like Oscar-winning deaths and shit. It was just fantastic. But you keep on seeing everybody every year as well. And like, I always hung around with the same type of extra as myself, who just knew how to have fun, but at the same time, you knew you were at work, you know, by times. So whenever you're battle charging, you're going fucking mental up the front. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we all the guys, man. So, but yeah, it's a lot of sitting around, but for a lot of the boys, it can offer like catharsis from like their lives, you know. You're getting to escape reality for a while. That's for definite. You know, you're putting on a costume. You're given a sword. You're seeing people from your favorite TV show. You're helping to make it and stuff. I remember season 8. A friend of mine, he came. We were sitting outside the marquee, the holding area, at about 4 o'clock in the morning. It was the first thing in the morning, pitch darkness, but the whole place is lit up with lamps. And he came down and sat beside me, and he just said to me, he said, "Oh man, my girlfriend left me last night, right?" And I was like, "Oh shit, right?" And he was all, "Yeah, man, she left me a note." He's all, I don't know what I'm gonna do." And I was like, "Well, I tell you what you're gonna do, man. You're gonna go in there and you're gonna get your breakfast. Then you're gonna put on your costume. Then you're going to go and get your fucking sword. You're going to hook up with me, and me and you are going to go and fight the army of the dead, right?"
That's awesome.
Right. Yeah,
that's awesome, right, man.
Okay. So he ran out, and like I just stuck by him all day, and like was like, "What the hell?" Because that battle was mental. We were fucking mulling around it. So I was like, saving him all the time, smashing the fuck out of people. It was brilliant, like. So like that'll make you forget a woman. That'll make you forget any woman doing that, you know. So And he said to me then at the end of the day, "Oh man, thanks for that." So like I was like, "Hey, no sweat, man." It's just brilliant. There's so many stories like that. So many people. You know, Northern Ireland as well isn't a big place. So you know, for the chance to be on a big TV show like Game of Thrones was just exceptional. Right on our doorstep as well.
Yeah,
yeah. Does that answer that?
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
Happy days.
Do you ever get used to bumping into people like Kit Harington, Liam Cunningham? You and Kit Harington seemed pretty chill when you met in the last Watch documentary sequence. So
yeah, man. So as the show went on, but whenever I turned up the very first time, I was just like, holy fuck. But I wasn't going up and going, "Oh, Jon Snow, I love you, man. You're amazing." Do you know what I mean? I was just all, "Holy man, Jon Snow. He's my favourite character." And there he is. He's fucking tiny, but there he is. You know what I mean? But that's whole part of the... I don't think they could have cast Jon Snow any better than Kit Harington, really. The whole thing with Kit, and that's why I got him that jacket, because it brought the character off the pages and on the screen for me. You know, John and Rob. But then I start going Sandor, Clegane. I have too many favourite characters in the whole fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? But definitely Jon Snow's my favourite character. But I love the fact that Jon's small. Do you know what I mean? He's the smaller guy, and people are all underestimating the smaller guy. No, the smaller guy will try his best to fuck you up. So, you know. But like, the more and more you worked on the show, the more you got used to them. But then, you know, you'd see like new people coming on. I mean, who did I work with then? Like, you know, Natalie Emmanuel. So started working with her, and she's nice looking girl. All the boys are like, you know what I mean, like this. We're just like behind shields and all, like this. Like Sophie Turner as well. Oh dear God. But no, and then you just realize that they're normal people. You just be talking to them. I mean, like, you kind of knew when to talk to them and when not to talk to them, and when you're told, do not fucking talk to them. That's what you're told. But that's only as a deterrent. So it stops mental people who got on the show fucking trying to talk to them, you know.
Yeah.
So it's don't be talking to them. But then for some reason, Kit's at work. You know what I mean? He's getting on the character or whatever else. So he was down at the front of the Battle of the Bastards, and you know, they let you know when it's all right to talk to them, because they'll talk to you. He just turns around and says, all right, boys, to the few guys behind him and stuff like that. He doesn't as well. He will always turn up with cigarettes, but he never brings a lighter, because then he feels that he can ask somebody for a lighter and break the ice. The thing about it is, you know, he was down at the Battle of the Bastards, and I was like thinking to myself, that must be really hard for him, right? Here he is sitting on a horse. Here's 500 motherfuckers who know who he is, but he doesn't know any of us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And half of us are like looking at him. Jon Snow, you know? So, but no, it's like whenever you're in the smaller scenes as well, where there's, you know, just a few extras in, you can really get talking to the actor, and they're all fucking really nice, just normal people. You just treat them like normal people. That's what they want. That's what they want. Just to be off camera whenever they're not on camera is just to be treated like normal people. They're fucking great with you. And then, like, I suppose this gets you used to meeting famous people. Like, I was working with Alec Baldwin there in 2019. Was it 2019? 2019, just before the pandemic hit. I made a film with Alec Baldwin, and he was a legend. He was just fantastic. And I worked with a guy called Martin Kaskauskas, who plays what's his name? Celeborn, Galadriel's husband in Lord of the Rings. You know, he's all, oh, what happened in Mithrandir? You know what I mean? Gandalf's Balin and all. Him, Galadriel's husband, like, I was working. He was really nice guy. He's the bad guy in like Triple X with Vin Diesel and stuff. So the more you work with, you just realize they're normal people. That's it. And I'm yet to run into anybody that I didn't get on with in anything, you know, especially Game of Thrones. The thing about Thrones was as well, because I remember I did stand-in for Tormund, Christoph Hivju, because I'm the same height and like I have the same shoulders and stuff as Christoph, so I stand in front of camera for him just to give the crew, I'm an object basically representing Christoph. But there were times when we were all of the stand-ins and all of the actors were on top of the rock in the frozen lake in season 7, and like I really got to know Iain Glen. Oh, he's a gentleman. You know what I mean? He came out of his trailer one day with no shirt on, and it was fucking freezing up there. It was up the top of the mountain in Belfast, and he has ripped the shit. I mean, he's ripped, and all the women and some of the men. Do you know what I mean? Couldn't take their eyes off him.
Is he as hairy as his book counterpart?
Oh man, but they were people were loving it. And then one of the fellas who was a white, you know, because like I knew all the extras. I was doing a production role at that stage, and in season 7, and one of the extras came by and he said, Andy. I said, what? He said, will you do me a favor? The mad requests, the more responsibility I got, the more other extras would request me to get people to do mad shit, right? She's all, Andy. I said, what? He goes, will you get Iain Glen to stand up on top of the rock and shout, Khaleesi! Like I'm going, no. And he was all, oh, go on, do it. And I'm going, no. He's asked me favorite line from the show. And I'm going, that's your favorite line from Game of Thrones. I was like, fuck it, okay. That's all. No, I was all, no, I'm not asking him to do that, right? So we got up on top of the rock. And I'm sitting there. Everybody's there. Paul Kay, fucking Thoros Amir, he's there. Jon Snow, Big Rory, Sandor, Clegane, we're all sitting there. And I just look over at the extras who are at the edge of the lake. And they're all like, fucking, Andy, get him to do it. Get him to do it. I'm just fucking sitting there going, shut up. Right? And then I just went, fuck it. I went, Iain. He goes, yeah. I said, do you know whenever Daenerys gets lost in the House of the Undying? Yeah. And he was all, yeah. And I was like, do you know the way you lose her outside? And he goes, yeah. And I said, do you know the way then you shout Khaleesi, but you shout it like Khaleesi, like that there? He was all, okay, yeah. And I was like, the boys down there are looking for you to shout Khaleesi like that at the top of your voice. And he just looked, these guys over here. And I was like, yeah. And he just stood up and he's fucking Khaleesi. Like, they were going fucking mental. Hey, they were going mental. And then I said to him, but man, see, because you've done that now, those boys are going to be buzzing. They're going to be on the lines going fucking, oh man, he did it. He did it. He shouted Khaleesi for us. And like, then what that means then is whenever the director shoots action, them boys are going to be fucking hyped up and they're going to be running, going, like fucking whites, just going fucking mental. So you know, the thing about it is, it's like, you know, the more the cast were nice to us, the more we'd want to do shit. You know what I mean? To help the story and just be part of the whole thing, you know. So, yeah. I forget the question. Did I answer the question?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, nice one.
Do I have the next one?
Yeah, it's the fourth.
What is it like working on the Last Watch documentary? And did you know you would be such a big role in it?
No. So this came about as well because, they're all long stories. But I was working in Battle of the Bastards, finished up, and what happened then was the costume department. What happened was we were all getting on the buses, the big coaches, to take us back into Belfast on the very last day of the Battle of the Bastards. There was 500 men waiting to get on these coaches, all standing out in this courtyard. And the head of the costume department just came fucking running through the crowd, and she had a chair, and she just put the chair down and stood up on top of the chair and said, guys, listen. So 500 men turned around and looked at her, you know. And I'm right beside her. And she's like, guys, does anybody want to come in and help in the costume department? We have so much to do after this battle. Does anybody want to help out? So I'm standing there, I'm just like, fuck yes, I'll come in. And she's like, Andrew, great, thank you, nice one, I'll see you on Monday morning, 8 o'clock. And I'm going, nice one. I turned around, no one else had put their hand up, not one other person. And I was just thinking, why wouldn't you want to come in and see what the fuck and get into the studio and become part of the crew and stuff like that? So I came in and started helping out in the costume department, and like I was scrubbing armor, man. It was hard work, like, you know, but it was great because I got to see, you know what I mean? You're there scrubbing armor, and then the next thing you know, the room gets darker, and you look up, and it's Ian White who plays one the guy. He's all, hey man, I'm like, hey, all right, Ian. Hey, by the way, loved you in Predators. Do you know what I mean? This type of thing. And
yeah.
Like, you'd always hear you'd hear I'd always hear like spoilers and stuff, and I'd be running in on my lunch break to find out fucking spoilers around the studio. Oh, but what the fuck are you boys doing in here? Oh, and they were trying to make this head explode. Do you want to watch? I'm going, fucking yes, I want to watch. Right? So like, but like I worked in there and scrubbing boots, scrubbing armor and stuff like that. Now there's a wee girl, Rachel, who appears in the documentary, and me and her are very good friends. We became very good friends because I started working on the costume department. And then I came back, worked in the costume department in season 7. And then in the documentary, I think she says to the documentary team, it's too bad, you know, you're not coming in at 1 o'clock because that's when Andrew's on. I had no idea that I was coming down to meet this documentary team, but I remember just coming in the security hut, and Jeannie, the producer, saying, are you Andrew? And I'm like, yeah. And she was all, oh, is it all right to follow you today for the documentary? This documentary we're making about the final season. And I was like, yeah, that's no problem. So they put a mic on me, followed me down. We did me costume fitting for that season. And then at the end of the day, she said, you know, would you mind if we followed you all year? And I was like, no, that's fucking kick ass. No problem at all. And that's what they did then. I had no idea, and she had no idea that I already had like this following on Reddit and shit. But then whenever I told her, I was all, oh, and this was months into making the documentary, I was like, oh yeah, there's like a following about me on Reddit and shit. What? I'm like, yeah, so like, and then she told this to David and Dan, and they were like, fucking, he's already got a following. Fucking right, be a nice one, use him as the extra, definitely then, you know. And it was all like, you know, it was like brilliant. It was, they were so, you know, all I had on me was a radio mic, and that was it. And like, there's certain parts of the documentary that I had a wish had made it on. And George Lucas was on set one day.
What did you do?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we were all down talking to him, but like, what the fuck did he say? What the fuck did he say to George Lucas? Love Darth Vader, man. Hey, Obi-Wan. Hey, yeah. I'm like, you guys just stand there going, all right, George. Yeah. And this is all on camera. Me all, you know, George Lucas. So, but like we did a lot of filming for that. But I wouldn't even know that the camera crew was there half the time and stuff. I watched the Last Watch documentary, and I was all, I don't remember them filming me for that. You know what I mean? It's just like they must be filming me from far away and stuff like that. And they had the radio mic and stuff on, you know. So, but it was great. Absolute perfect way to finish the show was doing the documentary. Something that I'll always have is that documentary. And you know, it took me over to the States and stuff, Comic Cons. It kind of concreted me place in the GOT fandom. So it got me over to Comic Con, went to like Denver, Colorado and shit. That was an ace. Meeting the fans and stuff, you know. So it was really, really good, man. And like, I don't know. I just thought I'll treasure forever, right? Yeah.
Rightfully so. So at what point were you aware of the Sir Strongbeard memes floating around? Because HBO definitely must have been aware for season 8 because you pop up everywhere. I was just rewatching with my girlfriend and you're everywhere. Dude, you're in the north, you're in King's Landing, you're probably in Daenerys' bedroom as well. I don't know. You're everywhere.
Yeah, the only time I'd be in Daenerys' bedroom is going, get off her! John! Oh! You know? You don't know the truth. Here's Bran. He's got a foe. Right? But ask me that question again, man. Just want to go.
At what point were you aware of the Sir Strongbeard meme floating around?
Oh, yeah. Let me see. HBO. I don't know if HBO they knew anything about the memes or anything like that. There. I remember because it was season in between season 7 and 8. I knew that I was online and stuff like this already at like season after season 6. That's when everybody was like, holy shit, there's fucking this guy again. And but it was pretty much because I fell in with, you know, David Nutter and Miguel Sapochnik. These two boys were using me all the time for shit. David Nutter was like, he used to come up and look at my face and he goes, I love this face. I love this face. He's all, I love these eyebrows. Do the face. And I'm like this. He's like, I love the face. You know what I mean? So he was always using me for stuff. Miguel Sapochnik as well, because I had went to Miguel. He was just standing around one day having a coffee. So I said to him, hey Miguel, I just want to say thanks very much for the close-up at Battle of Bastards, man. Thank you. And he was like, he said, well, no, Andrew, thank you, because, you know, I only have a certain amount of time to tell a story in an episode, so every frame is important. So, like, your face told the story there, so that's why your face is seen. And I was like, thanks very much, man. Thanks very much. Cheers. And he was down, right, so we had to stare across. I'll tell you the story. So we had to stare across the battlefield outside King's Landing, at King's Landing, right? So the whole entire army's out, And I'm off at the sidelines and I'm chatting to one of the assistant directors, just shooting the shit with him. He's more like the level of like an extras coordinator, this guy. So I'm just off at the side shooting the shit with him. And Miguel is down trying to get the army fired up. He's like, over there, guys! Over there, these people, these Lannisters have taken everything from you! Everything from you! You know, trying to get the Northmen fired up and stuff like this here, right? So then the next thing, Connor, who's the assistant director, he gets a message over his fucking radio. And it's like, you know, they're looking for an angry face because none of the boys up at the front line are doing angry enough faces. And he just goes, well, I've got McClay here if you want an angry face. And he just goes, they want you, get down there. So I come walking down the front of the army and all the extras are like, oh, fuck off, man. Here we go again, getting another fucking shot and show. I was like, well, here, look, I didn't fucking walk down here, boys. Did I fucking walk down here? No. I was asked to come the fuck down here, and they're like, yeah. Right? So he goes, let's try this one more time, right? And like, fucking rehearsed it, and he just goes, cut, Andrew, hold that face. Right? So I was doing this angry face, and he made me hold it, and he goes like this. He said, turn round now and show everybody that angry face because that's how you fucking do it, right? And I'm just going, shit. There's a fucking couple of 100 boys behind me, right? And they're going to love this, right? So I just turn around. they were like, oh, all right, man, that was pretty fucking good. Okay, all right, okay. You know, so then, that was an hour shot I got. But it's because I'd done season 5 with David, season 6 with Miguel, and then they were back in for season 8. So both directors knew who I was and just kept on calling me up for angry bastard looking shots. You know, I remember being up on the balcony and giving dirty looks down to Tyrion, or especially Jamie, you know, in there in the courtyard in season 8 there.
Yeah.
So I give a dirty look down to fucking Nikolai. And, you know, the thing about it is, the camera was on us now, but Nikolai and Peter, they stayed because they wanted the, you know, it's different looking at a stand-in than actually looking at the different actor than the actor. It's easier to get in character even if you're an extra. You're looking at Jaime Lannister, you know. So like David Nutter was down in the courtyard with a camera and all the crew. David said to me, Andrew, you know what the stakes are? You know why you hate Jaime Lannister? All this. And I said to him, David, don't even say his fucking name, David. I don't even say his fucking name. He killed my brother in the Whispering Wood. He killed my brother in the Whispering Wood. Roll the camera. And you could hear David going, I love this guy. Do you know what I mean? So I was just all up and down that. I'm like, I killed my brother in the battle for the Whispering Wood. Like, you know, the one where Jaime gets captured. So it's all about that research, you know. So
yeah.
But that's pretty much it, man. I was working with those directors so much, and like, but even in season 8, it was like, we need somebody to lie down in this puddle of fucking muck here as a dead body. Don't worry, your face won't be shown. And I'm like, I'll fucking do it. I don't care. You know, no job too big or no job too small, in my opinion. And then the next thing, you know, everybody respects you because you're getting the process fucking moving. If people don't, people go, oh, I don't want to lie in a puddle. You're wasting time. The amount of money that you're wasting, just jump in the fucking puddle, get the fuck arm on it. You know what I mean? So, and then, like, I remember in season 8 as well, there was a new guy, and like, Miguel just walked past him in the Battle of Winterfell, or the Long Night, And he walks past him, and he just looks at him, and he goes, what's your name? And he was all, my name's Brian. And Miguel was all, I like your face. Show me fear. Show me fear in this shot, and I'll give you a close-up, right? And Miguel just walks off. And I can see this young fella, and he's shitting himself. So I was way deep down in the army, so I ran up to him and I said, listen, man, you going to be on camera here? And he's all, yeah, man, listen, it's my first day. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. And all this stuff. And I was all, this is what you're going to do, right? Man, out in the darkness, there is 120,000 fucking zombies coming for you, man. I mean, like, fucking, do you know what I mean? Man, they're going to rip you to fucking pieces, bro. They're going to fucking rip you to pieces, and you can't even see them, right? You know? And, like, he's like, oh, shit, right? And then I'm like, just do it, man. I just said, don't think about it. Don't think about it. All you not need to think about is you're about to get fucking ripped to fucking pieces. Right? And he's all, okay. And then, they shot him and he got on the show and all that. I always loved, like, hanging around with guys who were new to the show and, you know, just buzzing off them and stuff. Yeah, it's kick-ass.
Yeah.
I mean, you better.
Gonna combine the next two questions since they're about Comic-Con. Do you have a favorite Comic-Con moment or a favorite fan encounter?
There's loads of them. I'm trying to think. One that springs to mind is going to Con of Thrones in Nashville, and the costumes. The costumes there were so specific. There was a guy that just looked like, you know, Bobby B, Robert Baratheon, whenever he's getting fucking, he's got, oh, you shits, you know, when he's got the stomach out. He was just walking around Comic-Con like that, and I was just following him, wetting myself laughing, man, because he had the accent down, he had the crown on, he had the big beard, and I that boy, but there was people coming to me and they were like, you know what I mean? I fucking loved you in the documentary. It was fucking amazing. And they were making me cry. I was all, no problem. It was my pleasure. But and then there was these two guys in Denver, Colorado. They were giving me the fucking. They give me these. I'll see if I have it. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I think it's just right here. They give me these rings, man. Fucking. So big.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, and stuff.
That's
you know what
awesome.
I mean? Yeah. So he came up, and then fucking the other one downstairs. But he came up and give me that, and then his brother came along, and he was all, "Oh man, you're the guy that saved Jon Snow's life," and I was like, "Well," he was all, "Oh, you've got to take my ring as well." So we've got 2 of them.
Wow.
People painting pictures of me, just yeah. Let me see as well. I'm trying to think. Just fuck. There's loads of, absolutely loads as well, because I work as a tour guide for Game of Thrones tours, so I was meeting fans all the time on the bus. They were getting on the bus and they knew who I was and all this type of shit, and they were just, "Oh, this is kick ass that we're being led around by this guy," and I was like, I love that. You know what I mean? They love that, and they love the fact that I swear on the bus and all this type of shit. So, yeah, Comic-Cons are mental, man, because me and Bobby, who's in the Night's Watch, I would always take him to Comic-Con. We would fly into America jet lagged as shit from Ireland, and then get up in the morning and start like, drinking. So we'd go to Comic Con. We'd go to Comic Con, and we'd just spend the time drinking through the entire day and meeting fans and signing autographs and all this type of stuff. But we were insanely jet lagged. And you were only really there for the con itself, you know, you were only really over for 3 days, and they just went by like fucking just like that. But no, all the fans, they love it. How much the costumes, what they put in the making the costumes and stuff, so specific and stuff like that, you know. And that's one thing that Game of Thrones did, of course, was bring a whole pile of people together, you know. So
yeah,
it's brilliant.
I feel like the next question is a fun one. Who is or was your favorite character in Game of Thrones?
So Jon Snow, man. Coming right down to it, Jon Snow. It's for me. It's because Jon's pushed into every situation. You know, he's not accepted. He's not accepted at Winterfell. He's born into that through circumstance. Catelyn doesn't fucking want him there. You know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, like right then goes to the Night's Watch. Shit like that there. Doesn't want to be made. He goes to the Night's Watch to get the fuck away from everything. So then he goes there. He's made Lord Commander of the Wall, like a job that he never asks for. Do you know what I mean? He never asks for power or anything like this. King of the North then doesn't give. You know what I mean? He's I'll lead you then, but he doesn't give a shit about crowns. He don't wear a crown. He doesn't, what do you call it? He doesn't rely on titles like some people. He doesn't fucking go after power, but it's the fact that, and he's not the best, you know, he's not the best sword fighter. He gets through by the skin of his teeth, and it's that drama that I love. Mary, Carl Tanner is kicking his fucking ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's a fucking legend.
Aye, man. Fucking Janali, man, right? So he, you know, if it wasn't for the intervention of one of Craster's wives, but that's where the drama comes from there, do you know what I mean? He's fucking fighting a White Walker, fucking by the skin of his fucking teeth. He's getting through the Battle of the Bastards. Do you know what I mean? And, like, I love the fact that he has so many folk, you know? I mean... Like, to me, I was always wondering why people would wanted Jon to become king. I was like, but he never asked for power. If he was thrust into being king, that's him for the rest of his life in like a prison sentence. Do you know what I mean?
I think that his ending is fitted perfectly because it was kind of open to imagination. Is he leaving the Night's Watch? Is he staying? Is he planning to live out his days as king beyond the wall? This is up for us to come up with a story, and I feel like his ending is straight out of the books. That's George R. R. Martin.
Oh yeah, for me, like the way he's pretty much groomed by Mance Rayder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know they speak 7 languages in my army. Snow. Do you know what I mean? He's telling them that. And that's the thing. Jon's a uniter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is Mance Rayder. So, like, Jon becomes, for me, king beyond the wall. The fact is that, you know, he follows, everybody's all, oh, it's Targaryen blood. Fuck that incest stuff. No, first man, blood of the first man flows through his veins just like the wildlings. So he's, you know, he never asked anyone to kneel. Do you know what I mean? Neither, they wouldn't kneel for him anyway, you know. But he's got that fundamental understanding that the people beyond the wall are humans too, and you know. But I love that. I was just like, imagine he was made king at the end. What would be the point in that? That's just so. That's the end of Lord of the Rings, man. And I love Lord of the Rings, but I don't want to see that again. I want to see something.
Definitely.
And like, the fact that No, fucking loved it when he rides off beyond the wall. I'm just thinking to myself, there you go now, man. There you have the peace that you deserved throughout the whole thing, because he was just trying to get fucking away from everything. But whenever the chips were down, he fucking relied on his big Valerian steel balls and got fucking through it. Do you know what I mean? And he's the thing about it, John, is I recognise all his faults. You're going to be a soldier there at the Battle of the Bastards, right? The next thing, he's fucking tearing out on a horse, right? We're going, where the fuck is he going, right? If he gets nailed, you can imagine being in a Stark army, right? 2-1, right? Battle commander runs out into the middle, gets fucking nailed with arrows. Look, you know what I mean? That was really stupid of John. The bit then at Hardhome as well, where Tarzi is going down, we won't get through the wall without you. Get on the fucking boat. And he's all, the glass. And he goes running up after that giant glass. I'm going, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Because the way you think Sir Alistair Thorne's going to let them fucking wildlings through the wall. Jesus Christ, John. Fucking hell, man. You know? But like, I love it's the fact that George R. R. Martin's characters have faults and stuff like that, you know?
They can be flawed. They can be not just good, not just evil. There can be a mix, and we're all stupid as humans, and that's always perfectly implemented in all of Martin's characters.
Yeah, man. So, like, Jon Snow, man, and I always like the characters of, like, where there's danger. Like, my favourite Marvel superhero, Spider-Man, because it's going to be fucking hard, but you can shoot him. You can shoot Spider-Man, but it's going to be fucking hard to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's the smaller, more getting out of situations, fucking skin in the teeth, that type of stuff. I mean, like, whenever you're watching the one shot during Battle of the Bastards, and fucking the place is exploding around him, or even during the long night when he's fucking running through as well, and the place is fucking exploding around him. Fucking everything's just last minute. You know what I mean? It's just so good. You know, favorite character. But then I have a lot of favorite characters, man. A lot of favorite characters.
Oh, we all do. We all do.
Yeah.
So what do you expect from House of the Dragon?
Incest. Incest and dragons. There's something that strikes me about House of the Dragon is that now this is going to be based on Fire and Blood, yeah. So one thing that I know, and I know I've met George a couple of times. He's a tricky boy. He's a tricky boy, because if you read that there, Fire and Blood, it's actually he writes as a maester, Archmaester Gildane, and I'm going to myself, but maesters are biased. You know, you've written that so many times, the conflicting reports of maesters. Now you're writing one called Gildane. So is Fire and Blood going to be, you know what I mean, the biased view of Archmaester Gildane, and House of the Dragon going to be the fucking proper fucking telling, you know? You know, I have big fucking things about the Targaryens. I think they started they're responsible for the doom of Valerian. I think that big time. I think they fucked those spells up protecting those volcanoes.
And that's the thing about what you mentioned about Maester Gildane, and also the stories we have from Mushroom. We can't take that shit for granted. That's because, but that leaves room for interpretation in the series. And what I would love to see is if, in the end, Rhaenyra doesn't go as mad as we expect, or doesn't go as crazy or as violent, and she's just okay. But it's the biased version in the book. With this one, we really have room for interpretation. So. Man, I can't wait to see we're going to get, which version is true.
I was kind of going to go, because, you know, whenever it was first announced, I didn't know what story they were going to use for this or whatever. But, like, fucking, I better just say to Miguel, I'll try and get in contact with him. Man, if you ever make, like, at the start of the reign, I'd love to play Maegor. I'd love to play Maegor the Cruel. That would be he's my favourite Targaryen. Pure mental. I love my Targaryens mental. They're more interesting, man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're nutters. Yeah. You know what I mean? Aye, brilliant. But
speaking about your career, you've recently announced on Instagram that the days of Andy the Extra are gone. Is there anything on the horizon yet? Anything you can or want to tell us?
I am getting back into theatre, as well as, you know, wanting to do more TV and film. And I'm actually co-writer and co-producer on a horror film that's doing the rounds at the minute called Damien. And it's set here in Ireland, and it's about a documentary team who goes to make a film about this ginger guy called Damien. But then it turns out that he's the leader of a ginger cult. And, you know, it's all about the film crew then getting killed. It's a horror film. So me and Bobby from the Night's Watch, we made this about Damien, who's also in the Night's Watch. But we made this film about ginger serial killers. So that's what I'm doing at the minute, man. Yeah.
When can we expect that, and where?
The first one, Damien, is going to be released in August, man. General release. I'll let you know, and I'll send you a link.
Definitely.
Then when it's on general release, but it's one of few. It's one of few awards. But man, this is Bobby calling me up because he can't sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, and he goes, I've got an idea for a film. Well, what is it? He's all like, oh, do you know Damo? You know Damien? And I'm going, yeah. He goes, right then, well, it's him, but he's a leader of a ginger cult, and he kills non-ginger people, man. Gingers have had enough, and they've turned around on normal people now and all this shit. And I'm going, right then, okay. So the next day we started making it. It was mental, but it's now winning awards and stuff like that, which is crazy. So, but no, it's just as well with the whole extra thing, man. Is I don't know where else I can go with being an extra. You know, it was all for Game of Thrones. I used to work on Vikings as well. But the reason why I worked on Vikings was primarily because Vikings would film when Game of Thrones wasn't filming. So it was like the methadone of the heroin that was Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? Mm. So I'd go down there and hang out to the guys out near Dublin and things and stuff like that, which was pretty cool, but wasn't as fucking good as making Game of Thrones, I must say. But I just don't know where else I can go with extra work. You know, extras are supposed to just like blur into the background, not talk, and not get really any recognition, and all that. You know what I mean?
Well, you failed in that regard. We know you, and the Game of Thrones fans know you. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, man. Even that's mental. I did this advertisement for fucking some Brazilian TV show. Some Brazilian TV show. They're going, yeah. So Brazilian film crew came over, and they were like, yeah, this is going to go out on HBO Brazil, and it's going to be in between one of our major show and TV shows, and it's going to be you telling people to watch Game of Thrones and try and spot Sir Strongbeard as many times as you can and all throughout Game of Thrones. And like, fucking hell, I didn't realise how many people even watched that advert. So even that's massive in Brazil and stuff like this. I meet Brazilian people all the time saying, if you came to Rio and you walked down the street, everybody would hear you shit. I'm going. Then COVID hit, and I couldn't go anywhere, but it's all good, you know.
We have a few fan questions for you to close out the episode.
Nice one, man.
George, do you want to... Mind if you start?
Yeah. Question 1 by Anshuman. Do you have any funny stories with Kit Harington as you worked with him during the battle scenes?
Let me see. Oh, well, here, right. So, season 8, right? You'll remember that that was the last day of shooting, actually. That's why it's so vivid in my mind. You know the bit where Kit or Jon Snow, Davos, come round the corner and Grey Worm's just fucking slaughtering Lannisters. He's cutting their throats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So before that, we were all waiting around the corner, and Kit had been out the night before, right? So he's kind of hungover. And he's like stretching and stuff, right? And he's all like this. He's all, they Liam. Liam's like standing there going, "What the fuck's the matter with you? What the fuck's the matter with you?" Right? You should hear Liam off camera, totally different, fucking big dirty Dublin accent on him, right? So he's all, what the fuck's the matter with you? And he goes, "Oh, I had a few pints last night." So like Liam's like, "Oh, really? Right, okay." Right? So then we went for the very first take. And rolling! Cameras are rolling, so Kit's getting prepared. And Liam's standing off there. And action! And just on action, we have to walk around the corner. But on the word action, Liam Cunningham just takes his finger and pokes Kit Harington as hard as he can on the side, right? It's like, right? And he has to walk around the corner. He has to fix himself really quickly and then walk on the camera, and he's totally fine. Great work! Do you know what I mean? Me and the boys were fucking laughing our balls off, like, because I was working on production, and I was working doing stand-in work, and not only was it being Christoph's stand-in, but if he was in front of the camera being Tormund, then I would become a runner. I would run and get batteries for the crew. I would run and get anything the crew needed. I was on radio, like, so I become a runner. And my boss called me one day and he's all, "Hey, I've got a special job for you." He's calling me over the radio. "I've got a special job for you, Andrew." And I said, "What is it?" And he goes, "Do you know the way it's Burger Friday?" It was always Burger Friday, right? It's like every Friday you get a burger on Game of Thrones. Crunch, that's the way it is. And fucking, "You know the way it's Burger Friday?" And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, "Right, well, Kit Harington's down there, Andrew, right?" And I'm going, "Okay." He goes, "Yeah, he's got his burger. But guess what?" I said, "What?" He goes, "He doesn't have any ketchup for his burger." "Get a fucking ketchup, go!" Right? I'm like, running down. Yeah, running down to the tent where everybody gets food and stuff. And there's a big line of people just waiting for this one bottle of ketchup, right? And I ran up to the ketchup, and I was like, "Fucking, oh man!" I had to hold it up and say, "I have to take this ketchup," right? And the whole line of people just gave me a dirty look, and one of them just stepped out of the line and went, "You're going fucking nowhere with that ketchup." And I was hoping, man, it's for Jon Snow, it's for Kit Harington. And he was all, "I don't give a fuck who it's for. You're not taking the fucking ketchup." And I was all, "But he's king of the north." And he was all, "I don't give a fuck if he is king of the north. You're not taking the fucking ketchup, man." And I was like, "Oh shit, what am I gonna do? So like I had to go and get a cup and like fill it up with the ketchup really quickly, and then stick a fork in it because there was no knives or spoons. And I had to run up and all and like fucking just come running through the crowd with a ketchup for Kit and all. Found him sitting there. He's talking to Iain Glen. He's got one bite out of the burger. You know what I mean? Found out there's no ketchup on it. Here's me like this. "Oh, Kit, did you need some ketchup, man?" And he turned around and he was all, "Oh yeah, Andy, great, yeah, ketchup. Oh yeah, thanks, man. Thank you." And he's just putting the ketchup on, and he's just like this, and he's just like, thanks, man. And I'm like, no problem, kid. Anytime I can do anything for you, no problem at all, right? And just like knocking off and all. And like, they mates them all Hall brothers. They own the Direwolves from season 1 of Game of Thrones.
William and what's the
Kaelin and Ross, yeah. I went walking past them and I was all, ooh, I just got Kit Harington ketchup. Yeah. And they were all, yeah. Jason Momoa. They fucking love Jason Momoa, them boys. So they do. My man's Kit Harington. They fucking love Jason Momoa, who turned up on set in season 8 as well. It was bound for the day, hey. You always know, you always hear Jason Momoa. He is one of the loudest men. Yeah! He's like, all the time. Whoa, yeah! Fucking Jesus Christ, man. He's big mad bastard. He's a really nice guy. Really funny guy. But yeah, getting Kit Harington ketchup. Fucking, I don't know, probably as well, just sitting talking to them normally as well was brilliant. You know, I was talking to Iain Glen about drama school. I was talking to Thrones Extra Paul Kay. He used to do a show here called Penis in the UK, and this was fucking years ago. So like I was talking away to him about that. And like, you know, just and Big Rory as well was talking. He used to be on a Channel 4 show here in the UK called The Book Group. So I was talking to him about that there. It's just really nice experiences with them all, you know. Does that answer that question?
Hell yeah, it does.
Nice one.
The next one is by Matt Abruzzo. Was Strongbeard's loyalty always to House Stark, or was he won over by Jon's cause? We kind of answered that earlier. He was not won over. He was always a Northerner.
Always fucking
always
Wolfpack.
Always
fucking Wolfpack. Yeah. Right here.
Represent.
I'm not sure like fucking got the tattoo. Hey, you were asking. I must send you a picture of my tattoo because you were asking about cool Game of Thrones tattoos.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn,
yeah,
bro.
Where the fuck am I going? There. Hold on a minute. Where the fuck? See, it's because it's lagging.
No, it's all good. It's all good in the recording. We can see it.
Yeah. So direwolf head. So, yeah, done in like stonework, but it was kind of with the weirwood leaves falling around it and shit. Which is like one of my favorite as well. It's kind of inspired by one of my favorite chapters, but fuck, I have so many favorite chapters of the book. It's whenever the Ironborn are attacking Winterfell and Summer and Shaggy Dog are in the Godswood, and they are trying to scramble up the walls because they know something's wrong. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're trying to climb up the direwolf or up the weirwood tree and use its branches and stuff, and they're falling on all the weirwood tree. All the weirwood leaves are falling around them. That's really descriptive writing for me by George R. R. Martin. You know, whenever I read authors with really descriptive. What was that question again? It was we'd already answered it. Oh, was I always loyal as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's many boys as well in Game of Thrones who appear in different armies, and they can't really
Turncloaks.
Eh?
Turncloaks. They're Turncloaks.
Yeah, they're in the different armies and shit like that there, so they can't really explain how they moved from army to army and shit like that. So we just call them Turncloaks, man. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah. The fact then as well that you know I went from Stannis' army into the Stark army was just kick fucking ass. I remember the day I was told I was going to fight for Jon Snow at the Battle of the Bastards, and I was just like, fuck yes, you know, because I knew, you know, people. I can't believe that people thought, yeah, you know, fucking, he's been stabbed and shit, right? But who's just ridden through the door? Come on, put 2 and 2 together. She's a red priestess. Of course she's going to fucking resurrect them. You know what I mean? That's convenient. Like, I remember being on the tour bus in between season 5 and 6, and I would tell people that I work on the show, and they're like, no fucking way. And then I would say, any questions, guys, in the tour bus? And there'd be one guy, and he'd be like this. Yeah, I got a question. Jon Snow, alive or dead? And the whole bus would just look at me. Right? And I would just go, he's dead? What do you mean, alive or dead? This is Game of Thrones. Of course he's dead, right? And they would be all, oh no, shit, Jon Snow, right? And there's me, I'd worked with him the day before, laughing under myself, you know, so it was, yeah, it was brilliant. But like, you know, yeah, kick ass.
Yeah, the next.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
Which scene from Game of Thrones resonates with you personally or emotionally?
Let me see. That's fine. Personally, fuck, or emotionally, shit, man. That's a good question. That is a good question.
The person who asks this question wants to stay anonymous, by the way.
All right, no way. Yeah. What scene in Game of Thrones? Which one? See, do you know what I loved in season 8 of Game of Thrones, man? Was that scene where Daenerys is sitting in front of the fire and Missandei's just had her head fucking lopped off. And she's sitting there, right, with Missandei's slave collar, rubbing it, looking into the fire. And I'm going to myself, holy shit. I could read her in that. Emilia does really well there. I'm going to myself, you now don't give a fuck. You are going, no wonder she firebombed the city, because she wasn't willing to let any more of her people die. Of her people who she brought over from, you know what I mean? He's all, fuck this. I was all, she's gonna fucking, this is gonna, you know? So I love that. That was emotionally as well. So much. Well, Jon Snow being proclaimed King of the North as well, for me, was just awesome.
You're the third guy proclaiming him king, right?
Yeah, so you have Lord Glover and Lord Manderley say King of the North, and then Miguel picked me out. Well, you see, again, it's these boys, and they don't put their fucking hands up, right? Miguel came down and he said, right, extras, which one of you is loud? And I went, I'm fucking loud, Miguel, here. Right? And Christoph, have you, Tormund was standing right beside me, and as soon as I said I'm loud, Christoph was just looked at Miguel and went, oh, he's loud, Miguel, he's really loud. Right? And I looked over at Christoph, and Christoph was like, hey, winking at me, and I'm going, fucking hell. So Miguel said to me, right, Andrew, this is good, we see lots of you at the Battle of the Bastards, so you know, will you proclaim Jon Snow? Lord Kerwin here doesn't say King of the North, so will you shout King of the North? Essentially, what I need you to do is shout, again, proclaim Jon Snow the King of the North on behalf of the common soldier. Is that something that you feel that you could do? And I was fucking crying inside, but I'm just going, yeah, Miguel, I can do that for you, no problem at all. But I'm crying inside. I'm going, fucking yes. Yes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that must have felt good.
I'm buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. So we shot that over 2 days, but the very first day we shot for a while, then we had a break. A friend came up to me and told me that Kit Harington was saying that I was really good at doing it. really good at shit and King of the North, and I was just, oh, fuck yes. You know. But there's loads of one of the my favourite scenes in Game of Thrones as well, emotional wise, is whenever Sandor Clegane and Arya Stark are it's after I fucking love that where the Hound breaks fucking Biter bites into the Hound's neck and he just fucking breaks his fucking neck over his shoulder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the Hound's then got the big thing here. But it's all to do with the fire and why he's afraid of fire and stuff like that there. It's just like, the Hound for me is I love the Hound's ending as well. I love that shit. Clegane Bowl was fucking top class. But to find out that the Hound, whenever you first meet him, you just think he's cold as ice. But, really he's, so emotionally complex, you know. Love the Hound, man. He's fucking brilliant character. Things like that, just so well written and so well acted,
Then, Andy, our last question for today comes from my girlfriend Sophia. She asks,
awesome.
How's the mood behind the camera? Can it get stressful, or is it always in terms of like if you have to redo and reshoot over and over again? Do people get angry? Do people get frustrated, or is it because you come across as we said, a family? Is it? How could you describe it?
I would say everybody behind the camera, everybody in front of the camera are just that passionate. They would, you see, I don't think they do the job because the amount of people we were standing around. I remember standing around season 8, and there's people from all over the world working on it, in different departments, and they were just saying that they hadn't seen their families in months. Season 8 was so big, but their families obviously really supportive. But the fact is that it's the passion that drives it, passion for storytelling and stuff like this, and going over and over scenes and stuff like that. That was just all part and parcel of it. I never. No, you would have got people coming on and being, "Oh, I'm fucking really tired now, and I'm cold." And I'm going, well, you can go and work in a call center if you want, but I'm going to, you can go and do whatever the fuck job it is, because there's guys on there who fucking extras walked out of their jobs. They had full-time jobs and they walked out of their jobs to come, and they'd only be working on Game of Thrones for a couple of months, but they would walk out of their jobs to come and work on the show because their boss wouldn't give them the time off. They'd be like, well, fuck it, I'm away to work on this. I can always get more.
Perfect response.
There's only one Game of Thrones. So, I guess it was the passion, was all the passion behind it. We were just everybody turning up every day. Like Battle of the Bastards was just fucking crazy. It was crazy. It was such a good time. I'm not saying that The Long Night, King's Landing, I love shooting King's Landing. It was brilliant. The Battle of the Bastards, it was 500 blokes just going crazy, and we were all given stunt training by Vlad, of course, the Night King, who I highly recommend getting in contact with for an interview. He should do one for you as well.
So we're glad he did.
Yeah, man.
Oh, right. They changed the Night King, though, right? Because he used to be the Mandalorian guy.
Richard Breck. Yeah, man. Yeah. Richard's done a whole fucking... He's a creature actor, so he is. But he couldn't continue doing Game of Thrones because he had another obligation. So that's when they put Vladimir then for the Night King and shit like that. So, Richard Breck, yeah, man. He was in Belfast not too long ago doing autographs, actually. Yeah. And he's in The Mandalorian. That's really the scene with Bill Burr. Yeah, man, kick ass. Yeah.
Well, lastly, Andy, all I gotta say is I have the utmost respect for all you've done for Game of Thrones. In fact, it's guys like you that made Game of Thrones what it is. This podcast, my Instagram account, George's Instagram account, those things would not exist without guys like you, like the extra guys and all the guys behind the camera. So just thank you so much for your amazing work. Thank you for everything you've done behind the camera, and thank you for today and your time, man.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you very much.
No problem, guys. And if you ever want to fucking do this again for like the basis of like fucking theories, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean. Talking about because I've many theories. I've many theories on stuff in the books.
Yeah, next time I think we'll just go deep on some of the book theories, and then on book Stannis, we'll have plenty of time for that.
Oh, I'll be up for that, man.
Big time. Fucking book Stannis is the fucking. I love that, man. Even then, see that march across the snow, hey? I fucking love them chapters. I love them chapters so much. Stannis' skin's just sticking to his fucking skull. She's whispering in his ear, you know, fucking shit. And like, you know what I mean? Fucking, he's just getting more and more fucked up and all. Brilliant, man. Red God's a demon, man. I'm telling you, the Red God's a demon. That's what he is. A demon. Right? But nice one, guys.
Nice one.
Do some lore videos or something, man, or talk about some theories.
Oh, yeah. Definitely up for it. House of the Stag, you're always welcome.
Awesome, boys. Nice one.
All right, guys. And thank you guys.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Members. Yeah. Awesome. Nice one.